Follow these procedures for installing the 13 horsepower power pack on Etnyre Blackhawk Lowboy trailers. First, install 2 T's on the gooseneck web, one for pressure and one for return. Install engine bushings or black rubber washers on the engine plate. Install the choke cable. This is best accomplished by first running the cable through the choke cable hole in the web and then inserting it through the cable sheath. Next, install the throttle cable. Unscrew and remove the throttle handle and nut. Insert the stem through the web's throttle hole and reattach the nut to the handle. Securely tighten. Install the engine plate, which has the bushings already inserted, and bolt it down. The snub washers go on top of the plate, and the flat washers are on the bottom of the plate. Next, install the hydraulic tank. Ensure that it is properly seated and use the appropriate nuts, bolts, and washers to secure. Next, install the battery mount. There are 4 holes in the web for this. Place the battery on the mount. It's best practice to place rubber or wood under the battery prior to tightening. Secure the battery with the hold down using 5/16 inch bolt, but be sure not to over tighten and potentially crack the battery casing. Next, install the oil filter bracket using the 2 holes in the web. Install the filter plumbing, but not the filter yet. Leaving the filter off at this point will make the process much easier to access the following parts. Now for the engine and its connections. Place the engine on the engine plate, but leave it unfastened. Remove the air filter cover and filter for connecting the throttle and choke cables. Add 1 quart of oil to the engine. This is a 13 horsepower engine, so add no more or no less than 1 quart. To connect the throttle and choke cables, it's necessary to make them the appropriate length. Start by pulling the handles out approximately 6 inches. Then, working from the front of the gooseneck for easier access, swing the engine around to face you and measure and cut the cables so there is adequate length to the engine. Once cut, push the choke and throttle cables back in. Next, fasten the throttle and choke linkages. Again, working from the front of the gooseneck makes this process much easier. Once connected, have someone pull and push the choke handle to ensure it is working. Turn the engine back to its proper position and fasten it to the mounting plate. You can reattach the air filter and cover at this time. Install the second ball valve assembly using the hold-down plate. Remove the paint from the starter switch bracket, the starter switch, and the gooseneck web mounting holes. The engine is a self-grounded motor and will not function properly if it is not grounded. Next, install the starter bracket and then the starter switch onto the bracket. Don't tighten until the ignition and reset holes are properly aligned. Install the bulkhead fittings for the pressure and return. Looking from the rear of the trailer, pressure is on the left and return is on the right. Now comes installation of the hoses. Following this order will make things easy. First, install one of two identical 41-inch hoses for the suction.